The most underrated source for how the ancient Mesopotamians viewed the world is lexical lists. There's hundreds of them, thousands of lines, and at first glance they're just word lists, kind of like a dictionary. Sheep, goat, ox, river, boat, fisherman, that kind of thing, but they're not alphabetical because, of course, the Mesopotamians didn't have an alphabet. Instead, they arranged the world according to categories of meaning, organized by logic we're only beginning to understand. For example, you might have a list of animals, but it won't say sheep. Or, it'll start with sheep, but then it'll say white sheep, speckled sheep, sheep with diarrhea, sheep that miscarried, sheep eaten by a wolf, sheep eaten by a god. There's over 120 entries just about sheep because, of course, each word mattered. Economically, ritually, legally, if a sheep died in a certain way, that might be unfit for sacrifice. If it had a defect, its market value would change. These lists were tools for navigating a world where every detail could mean something cosmic. It's not just animals, of course. There's lists for body parts and types of boats and variations of bricks and synonyms and translations and even lists of lists. And what makes them all so compelling is that they're not just scribal practice, they were how scribes trained their minds to think like the culture. It goes beyond vocabulary and grammar to participating in the creation of the world through learning how everything was ordered. These lists give us a rare glimpse into how the ancients structured reality. You see, we often assume people in the past were just like us, but with less technology, but lexical lists would suggest otherwise. At least in certain ways, they don't divide things the way that we do. They didn't group animals by genus or species. They grouped them by ritual use, by symbolism, and also by analogies we don't fully understand yet. But these were foundational. To learn to write was to learn to list. To master the structure of words was to master the structure of the cosmos. That's lexical lists for you. They are, on the surface, quite repetitive, not always immediately exciting, but when you understand it, you see a map to the Mesopotamian soul, a window in the ancient mind. If you want to learn more about the ancient mind of ancient Mesopotamia, check out the Old Stories podcast.